The pit stop is vital to every race team's success. Pull off the track, let your team go to work.
Outside, clear.
Change all 4 tires, fill the fuel cell, and make needed adjustments, all in 8 seconds or less.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching. This is The Pits Are Open, brought to you by SpeedSport, your one-stop shop for all racing news and coverage, and also Redline Ace, your one-stop shop for all racing graphics, redlineace.com. Located in Speedway, Indiana, right by the track. And this is Pits Are Open. Will Marotti, your host, Alex Smith, our engineer, and we're so excited. This is our maiden voyage on SpeedSport 1. We're so excited to have you watching. Brand new audience, brand new group. We are thrilled. This is a show, we've been doing it for a few months on social media channels, which we will continue to do. But we are so fortunate, so honored, so blessed to be part of the SpeedSport family. And we want a special thanks to Joe Tripp, our good friend. Let's tell you a little bit about the show. We're about racing. We focus on IndyCar because that's what I love. We do a lot of other stuff too besides. We also try to help younger teams, younger drivers with acquiring sponsorship dollars, which is so very difficult to do for anybody at any time, no matter what the economy is. And myself, I've been a pastor for 30 years. But before I was a pastor, before I was a husband, before I was a father, before I was really anything, I've been a racing fan. My dad took me to a little quarter midget track in our hometown. Same track that Joey Logano cut his teeth on, by the way. And I fell in love with it. And then in 1969, I was on a radio, listening to radio, and found the Indianapolis 500. And oddly enough, the guy that won, his last name was like my name, Marotti Andretti. I've been a hopeless, addicted Andretti fan ever since, and just love motorsports. And what turned into a real love became a hot passion, and so much so that we had the pleasure, the honor of being a co-entrant in the 2016 Indianapolis 500. We teamed up with Schmidt Peterson. Oriel Servio was our driver. It was wonderful. We came back and did 17 again, and then 2020 we did with Vassar Sullivan and Santino Ferrucci. And we've done probably another 20 IndyCar races, ladder series races, USAC midget races. So we've got some experience, but it's our passion, it's our love. And we started this show just a few months ago, something that we felt like we could really offer and add. And it's a different kind of show. We invite industry guests on each week, and we'll have folks that are in the racing business. We'll have drivers. We'll have some owners. We'll have sponsorship people. And so that's the basic format of the show. And we're excited to be here. But again, we're so thrilled to be on SpeedSport 1. And you can get a hold of us if you'd like. Go to our website, which is thepitsareopen.com. We would be so thrilled if you would do that and sign up for our newsletter. Again, thepitsareopen.com. There's a header on top of the homepage. You click on that, and that'll get you right in to sign up for our weekly newsletter. We're not going to bombard you with emails. You're going to get a newsletter from us once a week. It's going to give you some really great racing news that we're able to acquire from SpeedSport. We have the rights to SpeedSport news. And we'll also give you a preview of the upcoming show for the next week and who the guests will be. And it's pretty fun to do that as well. And we've got a great lineup for you today. I'm excited about our lineup with our guests. Our first guest is going to be somebody who's very involved and has been very involved, I found out, for many, many years in Indianapolis. He's the president of PRI, the Performance Racing Industry Association. Very, very plugged into the racing community. Part of the SEMA group. They're partners in that way. And Mike's going to be joining us in just a few minutes. And then at the bottom of the hour, we normally run an hour show. We're going to have Ed Carpenter Racing's own Christian Rasmussen. We love Christian. Had Christian on back in May. We were out in Indianapolis doing some filming, and Christian was on our show. And, of course, he won his first race this year in the NTT IndyCar Series at Milwaukee. He's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch, and I think he's going to be a great, great driver. And so Christian's going to be our guest in a little bit, and we're excited about that. We also have some other news items that we'll talk about. We'll intersperse. And if you want to get a hold of us, you can actually leave us a message. If you go to our website, pitsareopen.com, in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a little blue microphone icon. And if you click on that icon, you can literally leave us a voice message, and we'll get it, and we'll address whatever your need is. So we're excited about that. So this is our first show again with SpeedSport 1. We are thrilled to be here. We hope that you'll like the program and you'll share it with your friends, relatives, associate, neighbors. We'll also broadcast on our social media platforms, but SpeedSport gets us first. Afterwards, we'll release on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and we'd love for you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. It's free. The Pits Are Open podcast is the YouTube channel, and we'd love for you to go there and you can share that as well. So we are thrilled. This has been months in the making. We couldn't be happier, couldn't be more proud to be part of the SpeedSport family, SpeedSport 1, which is growing like weeds in a lawn. I mean, it's just on fire, and they're doing so well, and they cover so many different kinds of racing. There's one of the things that they cover, which I love so much, is Trans Am. Trans Am, the first professional race I went to, my dad took me when 9 years old at our home track, which is Lime Rock, and you'll figure out where we are if I say home track. And boy, did I love it. Big engines, big horsepower, hard to drive, just beasts. And that was my first introduction to professional racing. And so SpeedSport covers, they're the official broadcaster for Trans Am and TA2. So we love that. We're excited. Well, enough of me. Let's talk to our first guest. Our first guest, as I said, is the president of PRI, Performance Racing Industry. He's got a long history in Indianapolis, Indiana. And he's a great guy, and I've been waiting to get him on for quite a while. I want to welcome President Michael Good. Mike, welcome to the show.
How's it going, Will?
Hey,
man.
Oh, man, better than I deserve, brother. I'll tell you.
Well, I gotta say, one big congrats on the SpeedSport 1 launch of this. I feel honored and privileged to be on this episode, and just wishing you guys and Joe Tripp and everyone all the luck in the world. And I know you guys will be successful. They've got kind of the Midas touch, and so it's very exciting.
It's so cool to be. You're our first guest of our maiden voyage.
Did nobody else pick up the phone?
That was the thing, right? And nobody will answer. And we talked a while. We talked like back in March, I think. It was our first conversation at length. I think we only had a couple, 3-4 shows under our belt at that point. We had just started, and I've wanted to have you on all that time. And I thought this is a great time. This was we didn't know exactly when the first show on SpeedSport would be. It kind of came up on us. But I'm so excited because the thing that I love going to every year is what you host, which is the PRI trade show. Got to be one of the largest racing automotive trade shows in the world. Comes up in December every year. And now, of course, for the last, 10 years? How long has it been at the Indianapolis Convention Center? It's been there for a while, right?
2013 it came back.
2013 came back. Okay. And so it's wonderful. And I've always gone as a spectator. I like going to classes that you guys offer. I love just connecting with people that I haven't seen for a while. But this year, for the first time, we're actually going to have a booth there. We're going to be broadcasting. The Pits Are Open will be there broadcasting. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So tell us about your background a little bit. Tell the folks watching for the first time on SpeedSport, tell folks a little about you, your family, and how did you get in Indianapolis?
Sure. I mean, it's way more exciting to talk about the PRI show, but I'll get to that later. No, I'll give you a little background. I originally from Youngstown, Ohio, northeastern Ohio, and my father was a GM guy, and we kind of moved around, and we moved from Youngstown to Indianapolis, Indiana in 1984, April of 84, and in May of 84, my father transferred here with Allison Gas Turbine. At the time, they were owned by General Motors prior to them being sold to Rolls-Royce. Mm-hmm. But we moved here in 84, April 18th to be exact. And a month later, my dad takes me to the Indianapolis 500. And that's the first time I'd ever been. So it was mesmerizing, and similar to your story at the entrance when you were talking about Mr. Andretti. For whatever reason, I was taken by him. He had a rough race that day. I think he finished 17th. He went in the pits in the second half of the race and had some issues. But it was spectacular. And I've been in Indy ever since. Been here for 41 years. And I think 31 Indy 500s under my belt. Wow. And I've had a tremendous experience. But live here in a suburb of Indianapolis. Got a wife of 25 years. She hasn't wised up yet, and so she's staying with me. And I've got 3 kids. I've got a senior at Purdue, a sophomore at IU, and a sophomore in high school. And so girl, boy, girl. We're a house divided on colleges, but life's good, man.
Good. I mean, it's so good to have that much experience in, what I think is the racing capital of the world. I know NASCAR people might argue with me, but I feel like it's so weird when I come there a lot, in the course of a year and by
Sure.
choice. But I feel like when I'm flying in, there's like this invisible line of demarcation that when I just cross it when I get close to the airport, and I literally feel like I'm home. I just feel, and I've been telling my wife for years, I'm saying, honey, there's another woman in my life. And she looks at me sideways, and I go, yeah, it's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yep.
I just still, there's two places in my life where I go, and when I step on the property, I feel like I'm being transported back to my childhood.
Sure.
And one is Fenway Park in Boston because I've been going there forever, and the other is
fair.
Indianapolis. There's so many memories. So I mean, it's unlike. I feel like maybe you would agree. I feel like Indianapolis is unlike any other place in the world.
Well, so I was in Vegas all last week for SEMA, 8 days in Vegas, and on my flight home Saturday, I was sitting on a window seat on the right side of the plane, which is where you want to be if you're flying to Indianapolis, because the approach pattern, if you're looking at the right side of the plane, you get a perfect bird's eye view of the track. And the point being, at 53 years old, I've seen that same view 1,000 times, and it never gets old. So there is something special about Indy. It is monikered as the racing capital of the world. There are some other great cities. Charlotte's doing amazing things in motorsports as well, so I have to give them credit. But there is a uniqueness about Indianapolis for sure, and it's a great place to call home, and it's a great place. Very fortunate that a little over 3.5 years ago, SEMA, which owns PRI, acquired a property and created the PRI headquarters in Speedway right next door to Delara. And so my office is about less than a quarter mile from the track. And, you get to drive in every day right past, 16th and Georgetown.
It's like going to heaven. It's like going to Mike, hang on to that thought. We're going to take a quick break. Guys, don't go away. Stay with us. We'll be right back. I should tell you that this segment is brought to you by Schaeffer Oil, America's most trusted leader in oils and lubricants since 1839. If you want maximum performance and protection for your engines, your fleets, your equipment, Schaeffer delivers. Advanced lubricants reduce friction, run cleaner, last longer, saving money, fewer breakdowns, less downtime. That's why professionals in trucking, farming, racing industry all turn to Schaeffer. Don't settle for less. Give your engine the premium care it deserves. SchaefferOil.com. That's SchaefferOil.com. Hey, again, we're back. This is the Pits Are Open. Will Marotti. We've got Mike Good with us, the president of PRI. PRI is an amazing event. I mean, I know I've been to a lot of trade shows in my life, as many of you have, but PRI is really something special, particularly if you're a racing junkie. What are some of the things, Mike? Why do you think PRI? I mean, obviously your work there, you're biased, but why do you think PRI is so special? Why is it so unique for people?
Well, a couple reasons. One, I don't know of any other motorsports show that, and I don't take credit for this. I was fortunate enough to inherit things that I'm saying. It brings together the entire ecosystem of motorsports. So everyone from the sanctioning bodies, the racetracks, the race car drivers, the team owners, the engineers, obviously the manufacturers of the racing industry. And so that is a really unique thing about it. And I think the other piece of it is you're seeing innovation. What you're going to see 30 days from today, coincidentally, is the PRI show 2025. But what you'll see at this show is what's going to be on the track next year. You're going to see new innovations, new technologies, new products. And, I always say the North Star of the PRI show is really the manufacturers that are spending their time, money, and resources to come there and exhibit and put up a booth. We have to really make sure that we're helping them grow their businesses. And by doing that, we're also trying to ultimately grow the sport and grow the industry. And I say PRI does three things. We connect, protect, and advocate. And the show is the connection point. And obviously we're protecting and advocating 365 days a year, which is a whole other topic. But the show itself is it continues to evolve. You and I are old enough to remember trade shows when it was nothing more than an exchange of a business card and you moved on. And the world has changed. They have to have an experiential aspect to them. And we're doing a lot of new items at the show. And there's a degree of experimentation, but it's very dialed in. And, we do a lot of research. We're not just pulling things out of the air. And so we're excited. We got several new elements coming into the show this year. And just as a side note, as the data has been coming into me, this show, 30 days from today, will be the largest PRI show we've ever had in Indianapolis. It will. So, that also says a bigger statement about the industry, that even though we've had a year of tariffs and economic uncertainty in certain pieces, the the motorsports industry continues to thrive and continues to persevere. And, because you and we love open wheel. We were talking about it earlier, but I say PRI, we're agnostic. I'm representing everything from sim racing and go-karting on one extreme to NASCAR and open wheel on the other extreme. And in between, you got tractor pull and sprint car and emcee. And so there's a lot going on. It's exciting.
Well, we're kind of late to the party. We made this decision to be an exhibitor pretty late, and I got to say thanks to Julie, your office, because
totally fair.
I think literally by the time we got to Julie, there were 2 booths left in the whole deal, and so we got one of them, and we're close. We're right across from where the NHRA stage, and that's going to be a buzzing, happening place.
Yeah, you're in a great spot.
I told you before, we do a lot of events. Our church does. It's a large organization. We do a lot of trade shows. We do a lot of events. I'm more nervous about hosting this booth at PRI than practically anything that I've done for in years, because I just want to do a good job. I want to do a good job for for you guys. I want to do a good job for our sponsors. I want to do a good job for us. So we're really going to have some great features. Things that we're going to do, some giveaways that I think people are going to be really impressed with. So we're excited about
it.
We're looking forward to it. Talk to people who haven't been before. Why they may live in Indiana, they might live in Michigan, maybe they live in Ohio. Tell them why should they take the time, and it's a pretty inexpensive in terms of, like, the tickets aren't $300. It's a much easier threshold. Why should people take the time and come to PRI?
So, it's an industry only. You got to be in the industry to get into the show. But it's definitely, we try to make it as affordable as we can. It's if you're a student, meaning you have a .edu email address, you're a college student or something, you can get in for $20.
Wow.
$20, you become a membership for $20, student membership. And then for everyone else, it's $40 as far as individual membership, which comes with the ability to come and join the show and attend the show. And the show has so many different attributes to it. There's an educational piece to it. There's a social aspect to it. We're having a new event Thursday evening called the Full Throttle Social over in Lucas Oil Stadium, where we're going to really kind of just let our hair down and bring everyone together and just enjoy each other's company and network and fellowship with one another. But then you got, during the day, business gets done, right? So we have an area called TOPS. Stands for Track Operators, Promoters, and Sanctions. And that'll have well over 100 sanctioning bodies at that. Well over 300 track owners at that event, and various different educational courses that take place on how to better run a track. Talk about marketing, talk about business operations, talk about things that are top of mind to a small track owner, like ambulatory services. Tracks are having a difficult time right now finding EMTs to work their racing events. So you cover a variety of topics. And then, of course, you have best in class sharing of best practices around what's going on in camshafts or turbos or, suspension. And so lots of new elements covering all forms of racing, from off-road to track, circle track, dirt track, obviously drag strip. And so there's a little bit of something for everybody there.
Mike, hang on to that thought. We're going to take another break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. Pits are open. I want to tell you that this segment is brought to you by America's Christian Credit Union. Are you looking for a smart, faith-aligned way to grow your savings? Well, listen up right now. The credit union has a 12-month certificate at 4.5% with the highest rates in the nation. Limited time offer for new members. Deposits up to $1 million. You can get it started for little as $1,000. It's called a term share certificate, similar to a CD, but it's packed with mission. So don't wait. Lock in the rate before it drops. Go to americaschristiancu.com/pits. Let me say it again. americaschristiancu.com/pitch. Get started today. You won't be sorry. All right, welcome back. Pits are open. Will Marotti, our guest. Mike Good from PRI. Mike, thanks for staying with us. I got to tell you, the educational thing is something that I enjoy because I'm still a student. I'm still learning. You know, we've done some racing, but sponsorship dollars are always hard to come by, and learning how to attract the sponsors is an art form. It really is. And I remember, I think it was right after the first 500 that we ran in 2016, we had come to PRI that year in December, and I signed up for a marketing class that was taught by a guy named Alex Streeler. Now, Alex had worked for Lucas Oil for a number of years. Do you know, to this day, I'm still friends with Alex? And I know he's teaching this PRI, so I'm gonna, fortunately, I've got some friends that are gonna help man the booth, so I'm not anchored down there the whole time because I like to move around. But I'm gonna go to Alex's class just because I want to. And I think the educational component, particularly for young drivers, smaller teams, just trying to get into space. I mean, the money is just crazy. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It's a lot for you at that level. So I think what you guys offer for education is phenomenal. Has there always been an educational component?
I think there's always been an element to it. It's definitely, I've poured gas on it, like really tried to ignite it and give it steroids or whatever analogy you want to use. It's a big factor for us. And we've even deployed on Friday of the show, we've deployed a student track because we're doing a lot to help attract that next generation into the motorsports industry that we're all passionate about and have a love for. And so, we got to continue to be aggressive with that. The educational component, whether it's around business services, helping small manufacturers learn how to better run their businesses and share best practices, or how to navigate the ever-changing marketing world of digital and social, to understanding governance issues that go on within a given sanction. There's so many different topics. You can never have enough time. And so we're very selective. We talk to our customers. I spend a lot of time throughout the year learning, what can we be doing better? And I always want to know, what can I stop doing and what do I need to improve? I'm not worried about hearing the attaboys. I want to know where we're dropping the ball. And the educational piece is a place where we're going to continue to refine that and listen to the marketplace and really be able to offer them, products and services and knowledge-based learning that'll help them become better at whatever it is they're trying to do.
One of the things I'm super excited about is you open up every year with a breakfast.
We do.
And this year breakfast, the last few years, a good friend Ralph Sheheen has been the MC, and this year Mario Andretti is your big guest. And I am like so excited about that. Again, I'm not a big fan kind of a person.
Right.
Everybody puts their pants on the same way. Well, if you're a guy, so I'm not really carried off by stardom and all that. But I'm telling you what, I am crazy about Mario. So I'm gonna camp out. If I have to put a tent outside just so I can get into the breakfast, I am not missing this breakfast. Oh.
That breakfast is 7:30 to 9, and a line starts forming usually around 6:30.
Yeah.
We do have Mario. I was giddy like a little school kid the day that we secured him, and just anytime you get to work with your idols, it's kind of a cool thing. And so it's going to be a true blessing and to be able to share that room with him and share that time with him. And obviously he's raced everything with wheels. People associate him with Indy and open wheel, but I mean, the guy's raced everything, trucks and sprint cars and off-road and Baja 1000. And so he really brings a unique, eclectic perspective, I think, around racing, where it was, where it is, where it's going. And obviously, he's heavily involved in all forms of racing today still. And the whole Andretti name, it's a lineage of excellence in motorsports. And so we're extremely excited to have Mario there. And the only thing that tops having Mario's there is having Ralph Sheheen there. And so, no, Ralph's great.
Ralph's classic, yeah.
I when I'm on stage, I'm quick to hand him the mic because he's the professional on stage. He does it better than anybody, and so super excited about that.
You know what I love about Ralph? Ralph he's done everything. He's broadcasted everything. He's been everywhere. He's talked to everybody. I don't know too many guys. He's got his feet on the ground, planted well. He's not a diva. No. If you didn't know who he was, you just talk to him. He's just a regular guy, and I respect that so much about Ralph. When you consider all the places he's been, all the people he's spoken to. The thing with Mario, though, the timing of this, Mike, is unbelievable because you got Cadillac F1 starting up. You got Colton Herta going there as a reserve driver, F2. Mario's in the middle of it. I mean, what a great time to have Mario Andretti as your breakfast speaker. I mean, it's phenomenal. The timing is awesome.
Yeah, it's good. God's got a plan, right? And it's going to be a good one. And we couldn't be more excited about the breakfast. Definitely would encourage you to definitely make that event if you're coming to the PRI show because it's. I think that room has a capacity of around 2,500. Yeah. It's usually ends up being standing room only, and we also have the Hall of Fame, the second year of the Hall of Fame, which will be announced, and the recipients, the honorees, will be announced at the PRI breakfast, and that's going to be really a cool moment as well.
It's so cool, and I'll tell you, I really hope that we do a good job as an exhibitor hosting a booth. I'd like to make this an annual tradition. I've been there a lot of times as a spectator, as a student, but I'd like to make this be the first year for us that it's going to be an every year for us as an exhibitor. Mike, thank you so much. I know you're busy. I appreciate it. I know this is a late call for you. I just asked you at the last minute. Thank you so much for doing this. And I hope you'll stop by the booth in December so we can get you on.
100%. 100%. Right. I walked the whole show. And Will, thank you so very much. I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
See you in 30 days.
All right. Mike Good, everybody. PRI, thank you. All right. We're going to take another break here for a moment. Don't go away. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Pits are open. I want to tell you this next segment is brought to you by Redline Ace. Race fans, when it comes to standing out on and off the track, nobody does it better than Redline Ace. Located just miles from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right in Speedway, Indiana, Redline Ace is your go-to for all high-performance motorsports graphics. From car wraps to helmets to haulers to hero cards, Redline Ace makes sure that you look as fast as your ride. So visit redlineace.com today and see why champions trust Redline Ace to keep their image in victory lane. All right, welcome back. Pits are open. This is our debut show on SpeedSport. I'm so excited. Alex Smith, our producer. I'm your host, Will Marotti. This is like a dream come true. You know, we started this podcast just kind of not knowing where it would go, not knowing what we would do with it. Was it going to be video? Was it going to be podcast? And by the way, we love the fact that we debut on SpeedSport each week on Thursdays, but we will also be releasing this on our social media channels. So you can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook, Spotify, and we'll be on there as well. And we would love for you to go to our website, pitsareopen.com. And when you get there, right at the top of the homepage, there's a header, a bar. Click on there, and you can sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Pits Are Open. And in that newsletter, we're going to bring you some good racing news. We're also going to give you a preview of the upcoming episode, guests that we're going to have. So watch out for that and sign up. Get your friends, relatives, associates, neighbors to join the program with you. And if you miss the program, you can always catch it on YouTube or one of the other social media platforms. So we're excited about that. Very much so. Mike Good, our first guest. That's wonderful. We're already through our first guest, Alex. Isn't that great? Now we're waiting for our second guest. He'll be on shortly. Let me give you a little bit of news while we're waiting for Christian to come in. Big news boy, I'll tell you, I'm so excited what's going on at AJ Foyt Racing. I've been an AJ Foyt fan almost as long as I've been an Andretti fan. And you can't know one without the other, it seems. AJ, the illustrious career of AJ Foyt, and now they really, in terms of a team, I think they're really coming into their own. They've got one of our favorite all-time drivers, Santino Ferrucci, who's a Connecticut boy. That's why we like him so much. Santino's been there now, coming up on, I think, his 4th year with Foyt. Now they've just signed the vice champion for this past year Indy Next Series, Kale Collette, is coming on board. He's Brazilian, and you know how Brazilians love IndyCar racing. And so he's got a full-time sponsor. Combitrans Amazonia is a Brazilian logistics corporation providing road cargo transportation, hazardous material movement, moving services. And the CEO, Marcelo Camargo, saying this is his dream. It's Kyle's dream, but it's also their dream. Brazil deserves the excitement of a full-time IndyCar driver, and we're thrilled to be part of the project with AJ Foyt Racing, carrying the Brazilian flag among so many other global brands in the NTT IndyCar series. So it's pretty exciting. Good for Foyt. We and he'll be in the 4-car. Now, more news from Foyt came out today. Celebrating the country's 250th anniversary takes on a special significance for AJ Foyt Racing. The Legacy team will be committed to running the number 14 car in patriotic livery, this time all season long. And you know, in the past, they will run. When they had ABC Home Supply as their sponsor, they would run a very patriotic theme. This year, they've partnered with the parent company for ABC, and that is Hendrick's Commercial Properties, and they're going to be running all season long in the patriotic theme, raising money for veterans. Very exciting. Building homes for them. Homes for the Troops is the organization. And so Santino is going to be in red, white, and blue the entire season. Be very exciting. All right, how are we looking out there, Mr. Alex? Our next special guest, boy, do we like this driver. Oh, my gosh. I've liked him ever since he's been in the Ladder Series. He holds incredible distinction we'll talk about later. He's helped us a couple times. He helped us with our book launch. A couple of years ago, we launched the book, Spirit of Speedway, which I will have, by the way, at PRI. I'm giving some of those away. He came and helped us out at Delore with that. And then back in May, we were at the track, and he came on the program back then. But had his first victory this year in IndyCar. Very exciting. He's exciting to watch. He is a very exciting driver. And we're thrilled to welcome for our first show on SpeedSport 1, our second guest, Christian Rasmussen. Christian, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you. Thank you for coming on. I know. Also a short call for you, so I thank you so much for doing it. Hey,
I had the afternoon free, so of course.
Good, thank you. Tell the folks a little bit about how did you get into motorsports? What was the entry point for you, and did you start that back home in Denmark, or where did that all start? Where did it all begin?
Yeah, it began early on. Started racing go-karts back home in Denmark when I was 5 years old. Wow. I am not out of a racing family. My dad owns a car dealership, so the interest for cars were always there from a very young age. But then it was actually my cousins on my dad's side that started racing go-karts every Sunday in our local karting club thing. Mm-hmm. So that's where it started, just very slow, family level, fun. Every Sunday we would go race go-karts, and then just kind of snowballed from there. Moved up the karting ranks in Denmark. Did a little bit of international stuff in karting, but not much. Ended up winning the Danish championship and the Northern European championship in karting. And then moved on to cars. Did a year of Formula Ford. Went to F4 in Denmark. And after that season, we were like, okay, how do we get from where I am now to having a professional career in racing, basically spending the least amount of money possible? Right. So therefore, we saw US as a great opportunity with all these scholarship systems that are in place. So came over in 2018 to do F4 with Jay Howard Drive Development. Quickly realized that if you want anything in the IndyCar world, it's the road to Indy you got to be in. So switched over the year after, went USF 2000 racing with Jay, won the championship the year after in 2020, did Indy Pro 2000 with Jay as well, won that championship in 21, Indy next for 2 years, won that in my second year, and then IndyCar. So
wow. And you're only one of, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're only one of 2 drivers that has ever won all 3 of the ladder series leading up to Indy. Is that correct?
Yeah. Me and Kyle Kirkwood.
Well, and I think everybody knew that you were bringing something special from the history that you had, particularly in the ladder series. And everybody's been waiting. And I had Wes Zirkle on the program right after your win in Milwaukee. And we were talking about it, saying, everybody's been expecting you to do this, but it seemed like you really came into your own in Milwaukee. How exciting was that first of all, how exciting is it for you to step up to Ed Carpenter Racing? Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, obviously super exciting. I was very fortunate to get connected with Ed, sorry. After my Indy next season, had a bumpy year the first year, but showed some good potential enough for him to want me back, which was good. And then finished my second year this year with Ed. Definitely ticked a couple boxes with first the podium in St. Louis, then the win at Milwaukee, it was awesome. I think we're just a team. We're just making steady progress, getting better and better, and I'm really excited for the future. I think there's so many good things happening within the team, and I think it's a very exciting place to be right now as a young driver, as any driver really, because we're really a team on the rise.
Well, I think it's so. I'm so excited for Ed because he brought in the new partner. And that obviously brings needed resource. Cars look wonderful. You got great sponsorship on the cars. And I don't know this is true. And if I'm going off the wrong path, you can stop me. But race teams are like families. You get some that are like big growing families, Penske. You got smaller teams that are kind of just where they're at, and then you got some teams that are like really kind of, I don't know, I would say almost dysfunctional in terms of personalities and some of the drama that goes on. And then you got teams that are like, they're really like small families. My impression is that Carpenter is kind of that family team. I mean, it seems like everybody gets along. You hear very little drama coming out of the Ed Carpenter Racing garages. And I have to say, it was so impressive to watch Alexander Rossi come up to you and superly and genuinely congratulate you on your Milwaukee win. You don't see that a lot. Am I close, Christian, or is it just a good look out on the outside?
Yeah, no, it's a great place to be. It was very welcoming from the very beginning that I joined the team, and like I got along super well with Renus last year. I get along super well with Alex this year. We work well together as teammates, and I think a lot of the times we want the same stuff out of the car, which just progresses our development even quicker. So no, it's a great place to be. Again, a lot of exciting stuff is happening that will improve the performance, but on a personal level, it's a really good place to be.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to ask you to hang on for just a second. We're going to take a break here and recognize some of our friends. So don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're Pits Are Open on SpeedSport 1. And I want to tell you this next segment is brought to you by SpeedSport. Racing fans, if you want to stay plugged into the action, there's only one place to be, speedsport.com, speedsport1.com. Breaking news and in-depth features, live coverage, events across every form of motorsports. SpeedSport is your all-access pass, whether it's NASCAR, dirt tracks, drag strips, hydroplane, superboats, they do it all. Highlights, drama right to you. You don't have to miss a lap, so visit speedsport.com. Tune in, as you are today, to SpeedSport 1 TV, your home for motorsport racing. All right, welcome back. Will Marotti, Pits Are Open. Our special guest, Christian Rasmussen, IndyCar driver for Ed Carpenter Racing. Your first season, that was a partial with Ed, right? That wasn't the full season, right?
Yeah, so it started out being a partial season. I was supposed to do all the road and street courses and the Indy 500. Then after the year that the 20 car had, we got kind of in a pinch at the very end. So I ended out subbing in for Ed for the last couple ovals. So I did Nashville and Milwaukee that year, which wasn't part of the original deal, but I ended up doing that. So I really only missed St. Louis and Iowa that year.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, talk about ovals for a second. So you didn't have a lot of oval experience. Like most people coming in IndyCar, you don't have a lot of oval experience if you're a road course driver. You get a little bit in US Pro. You're at Raceway Park or IRP, right? And you don't get a lot in next. You got Nashville, St. Louis, those places. Is it still a big learning curve at Indianapolis for the 500? And do you get help from Alexander Rossi on that one?
Yeah, for sure. Like anything, stepping into IndyCar, it's going to be a huge learning curve. And the 500 and super speedways are no exception. It was definitely, I remember from the first test, I did the rookie orientation at Texas. Even that place is like pretty crazy when you've never driven a car over 200 miles an hour, and then having to be flat out there. But you get used to it. Got used to Texas, got into the rookie orientation at Indy, get used to that, and then you just kind of build off of that, right? The good thing about the 500 as a rookie driver and is that you get so much time to build up to it. It's not like you on a lot of other weekends where you have one practice straight into qualifying. You got weeks of practice. And really have time to build your confidence up as a driver, which I think makes a big difference, especially that first year. But even the second year, you haven't done it in a while. You haven't gone that fast, and Indy is just special. It requires something special out of the drivers. So it's a good thing that we get some time to build up to it.
What was the biggest adjustment, Christian? I mean, you've gone fast before, but you hadn't gone 230 miles an hour. What was the biggest adjustment for you as a driver, trying to, just keep your mind solid and straight on what was going on at that speed?
I think I think you get used to the speed fairly quickly. I think for me, what made the difference was just being given the time to build up to it, and just take it very methodical, and just kind of tick off the boxes during the month of May. And having the time to do that and have a great team around me to help me build that confidence. And I think that's what made the difference for me. So yeah, and I think ovals in general come pretty natural to me. They were obviously very good to me this year, but also in the past in Indy Next, I won both the ovals that year, and have won a lot of ovals in my career. So it's a thing that I like. I think it's super fun. I think the racing on ovals is unlike anything else that we have in the world, really. I think it produces some of the best racing out there. So I think the enjoyment also plays a part, but yeah, overall it's super cool.
Why was Milwaukee such a comfortable place for you to do uncomfortable things? I mean, you were pushing that car in Milwaukee like hardly anybody else was. What was the feel there? I mean, why were you feeling so able to do things with the car that some other folks couldn't do? You were really, really pushing it, and it was fun to watch. What was it about Milwaukee that fit your style?
Yeah, I think it came over the year. I think it wasn't just Milwaukee. I think St. Louis, we had a super good weekend there. I really think that we had the car to go win the race. We were a little bit unfortunate getting sent to the back and had an issue during the race and stuff like that. So we ended up with the podium. But I think our ability to pass cars was was really what made the difference, both at St. Louis and at Milwaukee. I think it wasn't a very comfortable car to drive. Like,
really,
I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the onboards. Like, that car was loose, really loose. But I think that's also part of what we do well on ovals, is being comfortable with the uncomfortable. And just again, worked my way through, very methodical. We even spoke, my engineer, my strategist, and I, we spoke before the race and said if there's an opportunity to go in and get tires late in the race, we should definitely take it, almost regardless of the track positions that we give up. And then this very specific scenario ended up presenting itself with 30 laps to go, or however many it was. And as we had planned, we went in and took tires at the very end, together with actually more people than I thought.
Quite a few cars, sure.
Quite a few cars went in and grabbed tires, but got out again. I was 7th overall. I think I was 12th or 13th in line with a couple lap cars. So there was still a lot of real estate in between me and going out and competing for the win.
For sure.
But over the course of the race, I knew that I was fairly strong on old tires, but even on new tires compared to other cars, we were able to do stuff. So went down and did exactly that. It was no different from the rest of the race. We just worked our way through one car at a time. All of a sudden, I found myself just outside of the top 3, past Newgarden. Then I was in 4th, got by McLaughlin. Then I was in 3rd. Then I was in 2nd.
Yeah.
And then it was only Pelot. So he had kind of built out a little bit of a gap down to P2. So hunted him down, had a good little scrap for it, but it ended up getting by him with a move around the outside. Ended out cruising to finish. So
I think one of the things people were so excited about for you at that race was, Alex had an incredible year, winning everything, and he won his first 500, first oval. I think people really were rooting for you, because I think you had very few winners last year, comparatively, and that you were able to pull the victory off was just what did that do for your confidence? Did it help your confidence at all?
For sure. I think, but again, I also believe that I'm in IndyCar for a reason. So I it's not that you expect to go out and win right away. I do realize that there's a process. So even though I'm confident, I'm also very realistic about my expectations. So I knew coming into IndyCar, I wasn't going to go in and win everything right away. And obviously they were still far off of doing that. But I did feel like I'm one of the drivers that should be competing for wins. So I think it was a box that needed ticked. And I think it's just a step on the way of where I want to go with my career.
Well, we'll be rooting for you, and especially at the 500. It'd be great to put a 500 win under your belt, right? Hey, listen,
that's the goal.
Thanks again so much. I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks for helping us in the past, and look forward to seeing you during the season. So thank you so much, and
thank you.
Have a great rest of your off season, all right? Christian Rasmussen, everybody. Thanks, Christian. Hey, that's it for us. That's a wrap. Our first show, our maiden voyage on SpeedSport. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is kind of what we do every week. We bring folks in. We have a good time. We just talk with them. And we hope to see you next week. Make sure you tell your friends, relatives, associates, neighbors about it. Also, if you wouldn't mind, go to our website, pitseropen.com. Sign up for our newsletter so you can stay in tune with what we're doing. We won't bombard you. Weekly letter. You'll get it once a week. That's it. Maybe a survey once in a while, but not too often. And we'll see you next week. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. God bless you.